Let's just go into the testimony. How's that sound?
Yeah.
When I was your age, when I was a high school kid, I thought I was a believer. I thought I was a Christian. I was the Eagle Scout. I was Mr. All-American at school. I thought, hey, I'm a good kid, so I've got to be a Christian. And all the way through high school and college, I kind of believed that. In school, I would say I was a CEO Christian, meaning I went to church on Christmas and Easter only. Basically, I was a believer of my works was going to get me into heaven as a Christian. Never really professed my faith. And then my junior year, a guy by the name of Mike Clopton, he was our director of football operations, invited me to church with him one day. And so instead of just having the normal lunch with him, he really sat down with me and started really growing me on my faith. And that's when I realized, hey, just because I'm a good kid, just because I don't do the bad things, doesn't make me a Christian. I have to understand that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins. And I didn't really understand that. The gravity of that did not really hit me. And at that point, my junior year in college, I realized, I needed to be saved. I needed to have salvation. I needed to be baptized. So tie that in. The next year, I had a job offer. Or I don't want a job offer. I had a school called me, wanted me to be the head football coach. Didn't pray about it. I didn't talk to my wife about it. And I just basically said, hey, if they offer the job, we're going, with no prayer or anything like that. 71 people applied for that job. I was not one of them. And they brought me up on the interview, and it was between me and another guy. And they ended up not giving me the job because, for whatever reason. And then, at the same time, my wife and I were having problems with fertility and having children of our own. We had a kid, we were foster parents, and we had a little baby boy that came up for adoption, or came up for a placement. 71 families applied. This is where I thought, wow, this is how God works. 71 families applied for the baby. We actually applied. If I would have gotten the job at Northwestern Oklahoma State, this would have never happened. I would have been gone. We'd have still probably not had kids or anything like that. So, God shut a door and didn't let me get the Northwest Oklahoma State job. But he opened another one. 71 families applied for this baby for an adoption, and we got him. The guardian ad litem, the person in charge of the well-being of the baby, of the ward of the state, her dad happened to be a football coach, and she thought, with my profession, that I'd be a great fit for this little boy. And so God shut the one door. I wasn't going to be a head coach in the state of Oklahoma where I grew up, but instead we were able to adopt a son. And I found out through my life over and over and over again, anytime I try to press the issue with where I want to be in a career, God shuts those doors and puts me where he wants me. And it's an amazing thing when you look back and you realize when you just release it and let God make the decisions for you, and you just do what you're supposed to do, you're a good servant, and you grow roots where you're planted, then life takes on another meaning. When I got let go at Southwest Baptist University, I prayed the wrong prayer. I prayed, dear God, I don't want to be at a private school. I don't want my job to be associated with teaching. And I really don't want to be a coordinator at the time. I just want to be an assistant coach and just kind of sit back and learn and remaster my craft. And believe it or not, I really said, and I don't want to wear a tie. 2 months after I got let go, a school at the King's Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida called me, and I laughed them off the phone. I was like, I do not want to coach high school football. A month later passed, I'm still looking for a job. They called again, and I said, no, I don't think high school is where I want to go. Another month passed, the middle of February, about this time, 4 years ago, they called and said, hey, just get on a plane and just come down. And, here we are, 4 years later. And so people say, God has a sense of humor, and he does. But the biggest thing is you've got to ask the right questions, and you've got to pray the right prayer. I wasn't praying, dear God, where do you want me? Where can I put my roots down to honor and glorify you? I was saying, God, this is what I want. And, we've been here for 4 years or 3.5 years, and it's been a great ride, and we've enjoyed every bit of it once we've released everything to God and let God guide us instead of trying to make our own tracks.